Minutes before the wedding, the billionaire groom stood in the quiet hallway outside the grand ballroom, adjusting the cufflinks his late father once wore. Adrian Hale, CEO of Hale Enterprises, the man the world believed feared nothing, felt an unfamiliar tremor run through his fingertips. Today was supposed to be perfect. Today, he promised himself, nothing could go wrong. But perfection has a habit of breaking at the sound of a single whisper. As Adrian leaned closer to the half-open door of the bridal suite, ready to surprise his bride with a small velvet box he'd been hiding for weeks, he heard a voice he knew too well. Lena's maid of honor, Marissa. And then came Lena's voice, the woman he defended, protected, and trusted beyond reason. Just a few hours more, Lena murmured, her tone cold, calculated. Once we're married, the shares transfer automatically. After that, Adrian becomes irrelevant. His entire company will be under our control. Adrian froze. The velvet box slipped from his hand, landing silently on the plush carpet. Are you sure he won't suspect? Marissa asked. Lena laughed softly, a sound he had once thought was music. Now it felt like the twist of a knife. He's blinded by love. Adrian has no idea he's just step one of our plan. After the honeymoon, we push him out. Quietly, cleanly, he'll walk away thinking it's his idea. Adrian's heartbeat hammered against his ribs. Every instinct he had buried beneath trust surged violently to the surface. Betrayal wasn't new to him. Being a billionaire meant people always wanted something, but he hadn't expected it from her. Not Lena. Not the woman he had fought his family to be with. The woman he believed saw him, not his empire. His phone buzzed in his pocket. He didn't look. He simply picked up the fallen velvet box, slipped it into his jacket, and stepped back without a sound. He didn't confront her. Not yet, because Adrian Hale was many things, but impulsive was not one of them. Minutes later, the wedding planner approached him, breathless. Mr. Hale, the ceremony is ready. Everyone is seated. Adrian nodded, expression unreadable. Good. He walked toward the entrance of the ballroom with the calmness of a man who had made a decision powerful enough to shift the ground beneath everyone's feet. The doors opened. Cameras flashed. Guests rose. The music swelled. And Adrian stood there, perfectly poised, wearing the same quiet, devastating calm that made business rivals crumble. Lena began her walk down the aisle, stunning in a gown that shimmered like stardust. She smiled, sweetly, lovingly, the way she always had, but now Adrian could see it for what it was, a performance. She reached him, slipping her hand into his. You look nervous, she whispered with a teasing smile. He smiled back, not with affection, but with knowledge. She didn't notice the difference. The officiant began the ceremony. Guests sighed with admiration. Everything looked breathtaking, elegant, flawless, magical. The world saw a fairy tale. Only Adrian knew it was a trap carefully set for him, and only Lena didn't know it was about to snap shut on her instead. Because Adrian Hale wasn't walking into this marriage blind anymore. He had a plan, a devastating one, a silent, precise takedown designed to expose everything she thought she had hidden, and it would begin long before the vows were spoken. He leaned in slightly, his lips near her ear, his voice calm and low enough only she could hear. Before we begin, there's something you should know, Lena. Her smile faltered, but not enough to alert the guests. What is it? She whispered, eyes searching his. Adrian's fingers tightened gently around her hand, as if in affection. Instead, it was control, leverage, a warning. I overheard everything. Lena's breath caught. Her world tilted. But the cameras were pointed at them, guests still watching, the perfect prison forcing her to maintain the act. Adrian, she whispered, her face still frozen in her bridal smile. Listen, you don't understand. Oh, I understand, he murmured, voice smooth as steel. More than you think. He lifted his head, looking forward again, leaving her trapped beside him, trembling behind a veil of perfection. But Adrian wasn't done, not even close. He had only spoken the first line of the war he was about to unleash. And as the officiant continued speaking, Lena realized she had no idea just how far Adrian Hale would go when betrayed. Lena's pulse throbbed in her ears, the weight of the veil suddenly suffocating. She tried to steady her breathing, forcing the corners of her lips to hold their practiced curve. Guests watched with soft smiles, unaware that the bride's entire world had just been wrenched open. Adrian didn't look at her again. Not once. His expression was composed, dignified, the same expression he wore in boardrooms moments before he demolished a rival. Lena had seen this look before, but never directed at her. Her throat tightened. She swallowed hard, eyes darting to the guests, to the lavish floral arrangements, the towering crystal chandeliers sparkling above them. Everything was pristine, extravagant, breathtaking. Yet she felt like she was sinking into quicksand. Marissa, standing among the bridesmaids, caught Lena's gaze. In that fleeting glance, Lena saw panic, fear, a question. Did he hear? Lena blinked once. Slowly, a silent confirmation. Marissa's face drained of color. The officiant's voice droned in the background, warm and steady, praising love, loyalty, commitment. Each word felt like a blade pressed against Lena's skin, threatening to cut through the flawless image she had crafted. Adrian finally turned his head, just slightly, just enough to make her heart lurch. His eyes, cold, focused, met hers. She tried again. "Adrian, please, let's talk. Not here." "Why not here?" he murmured, voice smooth, polite to anyone listening. "You weren't planning to stop anything here." Her grip on his hand tightened involuntarily. "I can explain. You don't know." "I know enough," he whispered, tone soft but lethal. "And you will say nothing now." She shut her mouth. Adrian faced the officiant again, nodding with the calm of a man who controlled every variable in the room, including her. When the officiant invited Adrian to speak his vows, the ballroom hushed. Lena's breath hitched. What is he going to say? Will he expose me here? Now? In front of everyone? But Adrian did not destroy her. He did something much worse. He chose silence. He spoke the most elegant, poetic vows she had ever heard from him, words dripping with tenderness, devotion, and an underlying message meant solely for her. His voice never wavered. "Love," he said, "is trust. Without trust, nothing beautiful can survive. So today, I promise to protect that trust with everything I am." Lena felt the air leave her lungs. He wasn't exposing her. Not yet. He was warning her. Publicly, beautifully, while only she understood the threat beneath every syllable. When it was her turn, her mind spun wildly, scrambling for words. She stuttered through her vows, voice shaking, eyes burning as she forced herself to sound present, grateful, in love. It felt like lying with her throat pressed to a blade. Marissa looked away. The guests, charmed by emotion they misinterpreted as bridal nerves, smiled warmly. Then came the moment the officiant asked Adrian for the ring. He reached into his pocket slowly, deliberately, and for a terrifying heartbeat, Lena wondered if he would pull out something else, an envelope, a document, evidence. But no, it was the ring. A stunning band of diamonds he had chosen with sincerity. He held it up, but instead of sliding it onto her finger immediately, he leaned in, lips brushing her ear. "Do not run," he whispered. "Do not speak. Whatever you were planning ends today." Lena's knees weakened. He finally slid the ring onto her trembling hand. It gleamed under the lights, symbol of a union that only one of them believed in. Then Lena placed his ring as well. Her fingers were ice cold. The ceremony ended with applause that roared through the ballroom like a cruel joke. Cameras flashed. Guests clapped. The music swelled triumphantly. And Adrian, ever the perfect groom, lifted her hand and kissed it. To the crowd, it looked like a romantic gesture. But Lena felt the subtle press of his thumb against her pulse, a reminder that he felt her fear, that he knew he controlled the next move. As they walked back down the aisle together, she tried to whisper again, her voice shaking. "Adrian, please. I'm begging you. Let me explain." "Later," he said softly, smiling for the guests. "After all, we have a reception to enjoy." Reception? Lena felt sick. Adrian guided her with the same gentle confidence he always had, but the warmth was gone. His hand on her back felt like quiet iron, steering her through a crowd that adored them. Confetti rained. Guests offered congratulations. A few elderly investors embraced Adrian, praising him for his remarkable choice of bride. Socialites hugged Lena, gushing over the dress, the flowers, the romance. And she smiled, played along, nodded, all while trying not to shake. Adrian watched everything with the calm detachment of a man who had analyzed every piece of the board before making his move. Finally, he leaned close again. You will stay beside me until we leave. No trips to the powder room. No whispers to Marissa. No sudden disappearances. If you try, I'll make sure you regret it. Adrian, her voice cracked. I swear it's not what you think. His gaze hardened infinitesimally. You plan to take everything from me. No, she whispered, heart pounding. It wasn't. There's more to it. Then you will tell me, he said, but not here. They reached the reception hall, an opulent display of cascading lights, gold accents, towering white roses, and the glimmer of crystal glassware. It was perfect, magical, a setting designed for celebration. But beneath the beauty, tension crackled like fire under ice. The first dance was announced. Lena's stomach dropped. She didn't want to be this close to him, not while he hid his anger behind a mask of elegance. But Adrian took her hand firmly. On the dance floor, as the music swelled around them, he pulled her closer than ever, so close she could feel the restrained fury beneath his calm exterior. Smile, he murmured, turning her smoothly. Everyone is watching. Her lips trembled into a forced smile. Adrian, she whispered, please believe me. I didn't want to hurt you. You already did. I didn't mean to. Intentions don't interest me, he said. Only truth. He dipped her slightly, effortlessly, his hand firm on her back. To the guests, it looked like passion. To Lena, it felt like the edge of a cliff. After this dance, he said softly, you and I are going to have a conversation. Her breath hitched. About everything? About betrayal, he answered. She swallowed painfully. Whose? She whispered, voice barely audible. His jaw tightened. Just for a second. Just enough to reveal something beneath the polished exterior. A flicker of hurt. Yours, he said. But Lena saw something else. Something that made her heart stutter. Fear. Not hers. His. There was something Adrian didn't know. Something she had never intended to reveal. Something that would change everything, if he gave her the chance to speak. But he wasn't ready to listen. Not yet. The song ended. Applause again thundered around them. Adrian didn't let go of her hand as he led her off the floor, moving with quiet purpose. Come, he said. Where are we going? She whispered. To talk, he murmured. Her stomach tightened. She wasn't ready. He was. And neither of them knew that what came next would shatter far more than trust. It would unravel the truth neither of them expected. Adrian led her through a side door of the reception hall, away from the laughing guests, away from the cameras, away from the carefully constructed fantasy of their perfect wedding. The corridor outside was dim, quiet, and cool, an abrupt contrast to the golden glow they just stepped out of. Lena's heels clicked against the polished floor, each sound echoing like a countdown. Adrian stopped at a private lounge reserved for the groom. He opened the door, stepped aside, and gestured for her to enter, not with courtesy, but with command. She walked in, her pulse a rapid, terrified drum beneath her skin. The door clicked shut behind them, sealing them away from the world. Silence thickened the air. Adrian stood in front of her, hands clasped behind his back, his posture controlled yet charged with an energy she had never seen in him before. The mask of the charming groom slipped away, revealing the storm beneath. Start talking, he said quietly. All of it. Lena swallowed, her throat tight. Adrian, I swear it wasn't supposed to be this. I never wanted to hurt you. But you planned to, he replied, voice steady. You planned to take everything I built. Don't lie to me now. She shook her head, tears burning behind her eyes. It's not that simple. Then make it simple. She took a breath that trembled. Do you remember the night we first met? He frowned slightly. At the charity gala. She nodded. You thought it was fate. But for me it wasn't. He stiffened. I was approached weeks before that night, she whispered, voice cracking, by the one person you trust the most. The one person you would never suspect. Adrian's eyes narrowed. Who? Marcus, his closest friend, his business partner, the man he considered a brother. Adrian's breath stilled. You're lying, he said. I wish I were. Her voice trembled now, stripped of all defenses. Marcus hates that you're the face of the company, hates that you inherited everything. Your father's empire, the board's loyalty, the public trust. He felt overshadowed, invisible. He wanted a way in and a way to push you out. Adrian's jaw tightened. And he used you? No, she whispered. He bought me. The words landed like a punch. I was desperate, she said, tears slipping free. My mother was dying. The treatments cost more than I could ever earn. Marcus knew. He promised he would save her, fully pay for everything. If I helped him get close to you, if I played the part he needed. Her voice broke. I didn't even want to do it, but I had no one else. I had no choice. Adrian stared at her, expression unreadable, but something in his eyes flickered. Uncertainty, disbelief, pain. I met you with a mission, she confessed, wiping her tears. But the moment I got to know you, everything changed. I saw the real you, the man behind the empire, the man who cared for everyone around him, who still remembered every employee's birthday, who didn't use his power to crush people. I fell in love with you. His expression didn't soften. Not yet. Then why continue the plan? He asked, voice a whisper sharp with betrayal. Because by the time I realized how wrong it was, I was trapped. She took a step closer. Adrian didn't move. Marcus warned me, she continued. He said if I backed out, he'd cut my mother's treatments immediately. She would die, Adrian. I couldn't let that happen. Her voice faltered. I was being blackmailed, controlled, threatened. The conversations you overheard with Marissa, they were staged. She wasn't helping me hurt you. She was helping me survive. Marcus forced us to rehearse everything, word for word, so there were no mistakes. Adrian stared at her, the puzzle pieces forming cracks inside him. And the shares transfer? He asked. A lie, she said. Marcus invented it. He wanted you to think I was stealing your company. But the real plan was far worse. Adrian's chest rose slowly, heavily. What was he planning? Lena looked him straight in the eyes, tears sliding silently. He planned to destroy you, not just take Hale Enterprises. He wanted your reputation ruined. Public humiliation, legal sabotage, media scandals, everything. She shuddered at the memory. And then he planned to place all the blame on me. Adrian's eyes darkened with realization. He wanted you to turn on me, she said, to hate me, to expose me publicly, to let the world believe I was nothing but a gold-digging fraud. And once you did, Marcus would walk in as the loyal friend who stood by you through the betrayal. He would be praised, elevated, crowned a hero. Lena's voice broke, soft and exhausted. He was never after me, Adrian. He was after you. The room felt colder. Adrian stepped back, processing the truth crashing into him. Lena watched his chest rise and fall, watched the war inside him, between fury, betrayal, love, disbelief, and the urge to protect what was his. Finally, he asked, Why didn't you tell me sooner? Lena let out a painful laugh. Tell you? Adrian, Marcus told me every day that you would never believe me, that if I tried, he would release doctor recordings, forged messages, and fake financial connections, making it look like I was conspiring with him. She paused. And he was right. You didn't believe me. Not until now. Adrian closed his eyes for a moment. Lena's voice softened. I tried to break away. So many times. But every time I did, Marcus punished me. He cut my mother's medication twice. She ended up in hospital. I had to go back. Her voice shook. I was fighting two wars, protecting my mother and trying to protect you from the truth. Adrian opened his eyes again. This time, Lena saw something different. Painful understanding, reluctant tenderness, a crack in the wall he built around his heart. He stepped toward her, slowly. When I heard you today, he murmured, I felt like the ground disappeared from under me. I've been betrayed before, but never by someone I let into my heart. A tear rolled down Lena's cheek. "I know," she whispered, "and I'm sorry. For everything. For the lies. For the silence. For letting fear control me. You're the only person I've ever loved, and the one person I never wanted to lose." Adrian's breath softened. He lifted a hand, almost touching her face, but stopping just short. "Does Marcus know you told me the truth?" he asked. "No," she said. "If he knew, he wouldn't let us leave this wedding alive." Adrian's eyes sharpened. Then he's already made his move. Lena swallowed. "What do you mean?" Adrian turned toward the door, his voice low, deadly calm. "Because in a game like this, the moment one side slips, the other side strikes. And Marcus," he opened the door, "is not the type to wait." Suddenly, the lights in the lounge flickered. Lena flinched. "Adrian!" He stepped slightly in front of her, protective instinct rising like a force of nature. Footsteps echoed in the hallway. Slow, heavy, deliberate. Adrian's jaw clenched. Lena's heart thundered. A shadow appeared beneath the door. Then, a voice they both recognized spoke from outside. "Adrian," Marcus called, calm and oily, "we need to talk." Lena grabbed Adrian's hand, her fingers shaking. He squeezed back, firm, reassuring, steady in a way that made her chest tighten. "Stay behind me," he whispered. It wasn't anger in his voice now. It was something stronger. Determination. Protection. War. Marcus's hand turned the doorknob with a slow, deliberate click. Adrian's grip tightened like steel. And in that moment, Lena knew this was not the end of their story. It was the beginning of a battle that would expose every lie, every secret, every betrayal.